All right, guys. Hello, welcome back. So just a better overview of what we got done. I know the last video said quick update and everything, and it was horrible. Could hardly see anything. But as you can see, we got a lot of this guy done. Besides the fuel system and a little bit of welding we need for the relief pipe for our wastegate and the down pipe to be modified as well to fit with the Mugen test pipe. But we Sean went down to go get this bung welded on, and I'll have to remember the name of the company and give him a shout out. But he was like, after he got done, Sean went to go pay, and the guy was like, no, don't worry about it. It's just give me a good review on Yelp. You know, it's a pretty simple, easy job. So that guy was really awesome for helping us out with that. You can see where I cut out right here to get the intake piping for the turbo. Here's where I cut out for the radiator. That guy ended up working out really awesome. We could finally get the hood shut. We relocated the radiator overflow down here, so it's kind of simple. All this is super nice and tucks behind the front bumper, so you hardly even know it's there. Yeah, so besides the fuel system, and Sean's ordering an electronic boost controller, because the one that came in the kit was a manual, and the AEM boost gauge is going to allow us to be able to control the amount of boost from inside the car as well as read with the gauge. It's all included. We also got to get the oil pressure gauge, and then we have our air fuel ratio and wideband right here already. These guys from Grams. As you see, there's an extra set of seats. Those are actually out of awesome other little project that we now have going on. So me and Sean, we're hanging out, and he was like, dude, what do you think about getting an Integra? I was like, well, I'm not too sure. He's like, I found one for $1,000. And he's like, I know you don't have the cash, but because of the motor and transmission that's in this guy, like, I really, really want to get it for you. I was like, nah, man, you don't have to do that. He's like, man, you've been slave laboring pretty much over here on this car. He's like, I know you're excited and just want to work on it, but, you know, like, you deserve it, and you've definitely put in the work for it. And, you know, I was like, well, you know, it's just amongst friends. I enjoy working on cars. Yeah, so sorry about that. You enjoy working on cars, so I really think you deserve this. It's like, speechless. It was a very exciting moment. But as you can see, this guy does not have an Integra motor in it. It actually has a B16A2 out of a 2000 Honda Civic Si. You see the intake manifolds removed and the wiring harness. Well, we found this guy off of Mount Lemon outside of Tucson. And basically the guy just kept telling us, oh man, it just needs to be finished wired in for the ECU. We had no idea what he was trying to tell us until we got there, and like so apparently they tried to wire it in themselves. I'm gonna have to go through here and fix this. I'm also thinking about maybe just getting the tucked harness from Rye Wire, I think is the name of it. Yeah, because these guys... Anyway, so we get this car from him, and they're trying to tell... he's like, yeah, it just needs to be finished wiring in. It ran, all this. The oil's black. It's horrible. You see, I already ripped out all the seats, pulled out the plastics. That stuff's not going back in. Just the front seats. So I got there. We're looking at it, and I'm like, yeah, that's cool, man. Like, it has the B16 with the LSE. It's out of the Type R. So, I mean, it by itself, I'm very happy for the motor and trans in there. And has way less mileage. Can't remember. He said it was like less than 50, I want to say. But, we got it back here. We pulled it, towed it all the way in. Got back here and found out, like, VTEC was never hooked up. Some of the solenoids weren't even connected. This guy is just a cluster. The damn alternator was never even hooked up on him. I don't understand how he expected this to work. He said it ran whenever he got it from his friend, but he didn't like the way it was wired. And from what I'm guessing, there's the intake manifold. From what I'm guessing is, it was never wired up for VTEC completely. Like whoever had it might have thought they did, but there was no way it was ever kicking in. The vehicle speed sensor wasn't even connected. Like that. The connector's still on the transmission, as a matter of fact. It's not even connected to the wiring harness. So, I mean, you need speed from your speed input, you need your RPM input, and your load input before VTEC ever kicks in. And I don't understand how that was even working. But yeah, so I'm going to get new wiring harness. That guy should be amazing. The ECU we actually found was from a like 91 Del Sol or something like that. And like, yeah, I understand. Like it's VTEC. Okay. The B16A2 had another solenoid on it. It was a revamped version. Kinda. Basically it just had the extra sensor for OBD2. And I don't understand how they expected it to be working without half the inputs being put in, and plus they're wiring it through the Integra harness incorrectly. As you can see, some of those pins weren't even connected. So that guy, we can't wait. But this guy, I can't wait. Well, I guess that'll do it. Until next time, guys.